Welcome to the Sweet and Condensed Podcast, a podcast by people who love movies, people, and the magic that lives where they meet. Alrighty.
Ooh.
Welcome to another episode. This one is going to attempt to be actually sweet and condensed because Eric and Kelly are going to a gala tonight where you have to make at least 7 figures to even attend. Eric, how do you feel about tonight's party?
Not true. False. First of all, editors, take that out. Start over. Welcome to another episode. Dude, I've had a cough for like a month. And so everybody thinks I'm really sick. Been about 30 days, dude, since I've been sick. Since you made me drink tequila.
I didn't make you drink nothing.
Kelly made us to a haunted house in November. And then you were like, oh, I'm too scared. So let's have tequila so I have liquid courage. And then you end up on the floor.
Because you and Kelly roofied me. You made me...
Josh was like crawling around, grabbing the actor's ankle, like a little gremlin, biting people and shit. That was...
I just figured if I scare them first, they can't scare me.
So tell the audience what you were telling these actors.
What was I telling them?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. I thought it was they would come out and say, get over here. And I would say, okay. And then I'd go in for a hug. And then they panic and walked away.
No, so Josh and Kelly fully prepped for him to have a line anytime someone would come up and try to scare him. And he'd say, don't scare me, I'll give you a handy.
Oh, yeah.
Or don't scare me, I'll come.
It worked. It's a good strategy.
It worked.
People were like, what is going on with this person?
It could be sexual harassment, but it worked.
They made me sign a waiver. They were harassing me. Then Eric ate a lime
know
like it was an apple.
I don't know what our audience base is, but like, actually, I'm not even gonna risk anything. I was gonna make a really bad joke about a show I'm watching and what we were just talking about. Let's move on. Josh, how you been, man?
You know, that's a great transition to say I've been all right. You know, not too bad. Little Red is at the doctor's right now. That's my car and at the mechanics. And they had to stay there over the weekend. So she's going to be there till Wednesday, which is kind of a bummer. But you know what?
How you getting around?
Anything, just being a bummer. I went to the Costco with
Uber
with
what are you
family.
doing?
Uber. I'm either walking or I've been hanging out. Canceled plans, that kind of thing. But yeah, dude, doing pretty all right. It's cold, but it's fine. And let's see, watching a lot of movies, watching a lot of things. Eric says time out. Yes.
Let's see the Wheaties box behind you.
Oh,
because that's a new development in your decor. First of all, the shelf.
I got a bookshelf, so it doesn't look all wild back there. But that's something I've been doing is I've been buying myself a lot of Christmas gifts, and this is one of them.
Let's see it.
Oh gosh, too much shit on the floor.
See, he organized what you see, but the books that didn't make it to the shelf are tripping him on the floor.
That's also true. So one of the producers, or many of the producers, I should say, are very anti Timothée Chalamet and Marty Supreme, and they keep telling me it's a flop and that it's the worst movie that's going to be released this year. So in retaliation, I bought this limited edition Marty Mauser Wheaties box. Marty Supreme, Christmas Day. I'm going to go watch it, but it has Marty Mauser on the Wheaties box. And I think there's actual Wheaties in here, but I'm not going to open it because I think this is one of 100.
Where'd you get it?
The A24 shop. And because I'm a member, shout out, not ad, but you should join this membership. It's really great. Actually, I think it's still worth it, but it's definitely still worth it for me because I think it's like $100 a year now, but I got part of the legacy founding member. So I pay $50. And by I pay, I mean, I've been gifted by some generous investors, and I have the next 2 years. But dude, I pay my cost is $50 a year, and they give me $5 a month in store credit. So this cost me $10, and I got a little Marty Supreme ornament because I had to pay for like shipping or something because I had like $20 in store credit. And then they also give you a free gift up to like $60 or $70 worth of stuff every year on your birthday. They give you free zines and a movie ticket to every A24 movie that comes out in theaters. I'm like, this is a
free ticket to every A24?
Every A24. And you can go to any theater that is partnered with them. And usually I see, Alamo Drafthouse, AMC, Regal. When I look at the Albuquerque theaters, it's all of them, I'm pretty sure. Even Century and Flicks Brewhouse, which is pretty nuts considering the cost. So if you're a big A24 fan and you like doing bits like this because they email members early and they're like, we have limited stock of these, but you get to buy them first, and then they open it to the plebes, to the public. So I'm pretty sure this is real though. Like
Plebes is crazy. Wait, you've got to figure out a way to taste it. You feel me?
I mean, yeah, but do you really want me to open this? Plus, literally, it's might as well just say gluties on it, dude. Moss glutens. I can't eat this.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's something to be said about like I just watched this kids movie called Ron's Gone Wrong about friendship, and anyways, and one of the things is like how friends really know each other. And like I know so much about you, Josh, and I've known for 15 years you're gluten free, and I still subconsciously ignore that every time I talk to you about food. I'm like, do you like this? Eat this cereal, and you're like, excuse me, this has gluten. So I'm pretty sure that's going to stay an artifact in your room forever.
It's probably because you hate me, and also your subconscious also says that I'm a weak person. So, anyways, how you been?
Wait, Jacob, welcome to the podcast. First appearance on the podcast, Jacob Zakorka.
Isn't that fun?
That's awesome.
I use this mug pretty frequently, so I don't feel like I'm drinking alone.
We need to bring your therapist on one of these podcasts one of these days.
It's why.
A lot to unpack here. Okay, I have to confess, I've been watching a lot of House of Cards, man. And maybe the producers want to take this out, R.I.P. Kevin Spacey, scum. But like, I was a big House of Cards guy when it came out.
Is it good?
I have yet to get past season, I think, 3, I believe. And everybody's like, oh, people might say like, how can you be a fan if you haven't finished all 6 seasons? I don't know. Like, I really enjoyed season 1 and 2, got to 3, wasn't a super fan. This was years ago when it came out. And then all the Kevin Spacey shit went down in the latter seasons. I didn't use that word properly just now. In the later seasons, you know what I'm saying. But I love it. It's so fun. It's such a cheesy political drama. He breaks the third wall, like that's part of the bit. Kevin Spacey does, but it's a fun. It's like one of those guilty pleasure shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kinda. I've been watching Mad Men because so that feels pretch guilty pleasure.
Mad Men is not guilty pleasure.
Oh, just kidding. It's just normal pleasure.
It's just top tier. Chain smoking, whiskey in the office, good old fat.
It's not good for my health.
No. Where are you at? Where are you at in the show?
I think I'm still on season 1, to be honest. There's like 20 episodes.
And they're long.
They're forever. Yeah. So I think I'm somewhere after John Hamm, Don Draper plots against his boss by making him eat like 24 dozen oysters and then 17 vodka martinis, and then he vomits all over the office floor, and I also vomited all over the office floor. That was violent.
So, hey, speaking of that haunted house last month that we went to, Josh is so queasy. I've got a video clip in the haunted house where you can't see anything, but you just hear Josh dry heaving. And I'm gonna keep it forever. I love that.
They even made a iPhone message sticker out of the video of me bent over dry heaving, which honestly kept the people away. Once I realized that the real gags were like a deterrent for the people to attack me, like with the chainsaws, then I was like, oh, if I go around this corner and gag, they will back off. And
threats of sexual harassment and gagging. That's the key. If you don't like,
I'm the victim in this scenario.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
1,000%.
Like 15-year-old kids. You know what's crazy? Is these are like minors running around trying to scare you, and you're talking about give me a handy.
They were grown-ass adults minors. They were 6 foot tall, beards.
If there was any way to pull the security, if there's any way to pull metrics on who works at haunted houses, dude, I'm afraid you're cooked.
No, that's not true. If anyone's
Speaking of Kevin Spacey, like, you're right in that.
That's insane to say. But speaking of who's cooked is actually your wife who forged my signature on the waiver. I got an email that just said, oh, thank you for signing this very government official, incriminating so your mute threw me off. But the sad part was she didn't even do like a cool cursive signature. It was literally just a J and a P. Like it was written on an etching sketch.
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, I was pretty sad. I was like, you
got to call her out on that after this. I was going to say we've also the last time we did a podcast, you were in your early 30s. At this point, it feels like
It was a
heading to
long
your
time
early
ago.
40s. But we need to get Kelly on the podcast to talk about Stranger Things. We can't discuss that without her because she's such a fan. And you and your old roomies are too. Apparently, you restarted this new season within a week of it dropping.
Oh, like 2 days later. Yeah. It was about a year ago. Yeah. No, it was earlier this year. Me and Brenna restarted Stranger Things, or not restarted. I watched it for the first time ever. She got me to watch
That's right.
episode or season 2, and then Drew joined around the end of season 2, and then the three of us finished seasons 3 and 4. And I didn't know they were that great. I stopped watching Stranger Things like 6 years ago, whenever the first season came out, because it seemed too scary, and I was like, it's only going to get worse. Everyone says that
It's so ridiculous.
they said that
You are insane.
they said it gets diabolical. And then, to be fair, there was like, spoiler alert, there's people drenched in blood and bones snapping and eyes rolling back and just
full-on possession.
Great.
I tell Kelly all the time, like, and I'm going to call her out. Clearly, Drew doesn't listen to the podcast because he didn't say shit about the last time. Drew. Neither does Sarah. Anyways, we'll see if Kelly does. She won't watch half these scary movies I try to get her to watch. Talk to me, bring her back. She's like, oh my gosh, possession and kids. Yet there's this TikTok that was like, oh, these movies about kids are too much. Now let me tune in to my 2 favorite shows, Possession and Kids. Welcome to Derry, Stranger Things. Like, that's the premise of both of them.
It's true.
Is an entity possessing children. Will gets exorcised. There's I don't know if that's the word, dude. I don't know what I'm saying today. There's a full-blown exorcism in that season. You remember the finale?
He gets put on a treadmill and he gets worked.
And in Derry, just kids getting obliterated. Speaking of
Derry, I'm so pissed off at y'all. That's not why we're here on the podcast, by the way, today, but I am so pissed off that you made me watch that episode 7 of Derry. That was one of the saddest shits I've ever experienced. It was so just horrifyingly depressing, devastating, soul crushing. I'm upset. I'm pissed.
Okay. Well, we're going to move right on into our topic of today, which is train dreams. Before we get into any details about it, I'm equally as pissed at you, dude. You were so mad about because Josh, I was in El Paso for work and we were like, God, we need to get another episode going. We have so much we need to catch up on, show swaps and things like that. And he said, hey, I just watched Train Dreams. Throw it on. It's on Netflix. I said, cool, great. I put it on really late that night, and I paused it maybe halfway mark, maybe about 45 minutes. I could be wrong on the timestamp. And finished it the other day at home and was just heated. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the whole thing here in a bit, but I'm equally as mad. Dude, mine's actually probably worse.
Okay, 1, no. 2, yeah, whenever Eric's out of town, I like to give him sad movies to watch because I know Kelly will be even more pissed at me if I suggest a sad movie and she has to watch it, and God forbid she feels something. But here we go. We're talking about Train Dreams today. The letterbox says it's a logger leads a life of quiet grace. Though a logger leads a life of quiet grace as he experiences love and loss during an era of a monumental change in the early 20th century America. That doesn't even do justice to the amount of trauma and sadness that this movie brings upon. Let's see. It is written and directed by Clint Bentley, also co-written, what's the other writer's name? Greg Quedar? Probably saying that wrong, but Greg K, fun fact, he's also one of the writers on Sing Sing.
Quedar.
Yeah, and and Sing Sing's another family heartfelt light watch that can.
Sing Sing is the saddest thing ever. Pause.
It is very
sad. Pause 1 second. Kelly came in to show me outfits for the gala 1 second. No one saw you in that. That was not a work thing. There were like 3 people there. No, you wore that at the hangar, the gala at the hangar.
That would be an outfit repeater.
This one. This is not Vegas. Promise.
Outfit repeater is wild.
Not even slightly Vegas. That's not Vegas, is it, Josh? The brown one.
The brown one. Neither of them are brown. That's pink and the Last Showgirl color.
That's not Vegas.
Is that a term, or are you saying that?
Oh, the theme is Vegas tonight.
Oh, okay, Vegas. Yeah, the one on the left.
I don't know which one that is.
The shiny one that looks like the fish scales.
He said the one on the left, and I was like, I can't tell because it's like reversed. Yeah,
that one.
I like the one you're in. She doesn't like the one she's in. Turn this way.
That one's very Vegas. Where that one?
He said this is very much more Vegas. Yes. I'm not.
I,
Yay.
I have no idea. I'm not a fashionista.
Okay. You were telling me.
That was insane, by the way.
It was insane.
Kelly doesn't want to be a outfit repeater. You're going to a gala for rich people. That's wild. You guys are wealthy that you have enough outfits never to wear twice. That's wild.
Clint Bentley has directed like 3 things.
I know. Isn't that wild? And I haven't seen any of them.
Yes, you have.
I've never seen Jockey or Nine Races or I'll Remember Everything or Boulders Fall to Each. I've never seen any of those. I've never heard of them.
Oh, same here, man. This is crazy.
Honestly, so Train Dreams has been on my radar for a long time because people have been saying it was like one of their favorite movies. I think it screened at one of the festivals, and so it sucks being a peasant because you have to go on film Twitter and the internet, and you see all these people watching things ahead of time, getting screeners at festivals, and then finally Train Dreams comes to Netflix, which, dude, I am heartbroken I didn't see this one. I couldn't see this one in theaters. But
this was one of those. Okay, so there's a lot of discourse happening around Netflix buying Warner Brothers. We don't have to get into that today. You know, HBO. It makes me really sad. I'm upset about it. Josh and I crashed out. But this is what's hard. Is like most of Netflix, what they put out is slop. I will specifically refer to the Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown movie Electric State that was $500 million that no one gave a shit about.
That was bad.
But then they put shit like this out and Mindhunter, and there are really talented people that get put to work. Knives Out, right? Like, they're talented people at work. It's not that they can't put out quality stuff. It's that the majority of the time they don't, and it deserves a theatrical release. Everybody talks about like, oh, well, they put Stranger Things in for 2 days. Theaters aren't going to stay around for 2 days a year. Frankenstein, limited showings. No, made for the theater. This one, too, Train Dreams was absolutely gorgeous. However, I got to say something. I don't know about you. Are you a narrator guy? Do you like when there is narration?
I go back and forth. I don't know. I feel like sometimes, generally, I feel like it's a type of storytelling that is hard to do well. And so I think often I'm like, I don't know if I like this, but I love the narration in this one. And what's the, like, there's movies that have aspects of it, like Saltburn had kind of a narration feel, right? Because it starts Wake Up Dead Man has a narrator, even though they're a character. Same. Well, this one is like
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. This one, I think Train Dreams' narrator is not a character, though.
No.
I think it's just
not. I think someone telling the story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about Wolf of Wall Street. There was another one that was American Psycho and Goodfellas, right? So, like, there are plenty of really good movies that are done well, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But then, at the minute I heard the voice, and it was Will Patton.
Oh, yeah.
He is burned in my brain from, everybody probably has a different movie that for me, it's Remember the Titans. Like, that, his voice resonates with, like, young me in a way where I was not sure as soon as I heard the narration, and then I was like, wait a minute, hold up. And I paused it, and I knew I recognized that voice that, like, brought out this nostalgia in me, and I was in it. And again, I can't even right now probably think of a movie I didn't like that had narration. I just thought of a few that do.
Right.
That are parts of it, right? But yeah, anyways, like killer cast, not to jump ahead, Joel Edgerton. We can talk about his performance in this. But I'm going to be real. I've always been a Joel guy since, let me pull it up.
Warrior.
This is so weird. No.
Oh.
Let's see. He has some great movies. So The Gift is amazing. It's 2015 with, what's his name? Jason Bateman. Awesome, nice little thriller movie. Warrior was a great one too. But, oh my gosh. Oh, The Thing, which was a 2011. People didn't like The Thing, the remake of a remake. I
didn't know they
Anyways, he's in
it.
some great movies. They did. Yeah, I mean, it was like 14 years ago. He's in It Comes at Night, which is another horror. It came out 2017. Really awesome in that. Really awesome in The Gift. Black Mass with Johnny Depp received mixed reviews. He's in it. Freaking killer. Like, I'm a Joel Edgerton guy.
I'll be honest. I haven't seen like half the movies you just said. but I liked him because of Boy Erased, and Warrior was the first thing I think I was like, oh, this guy's the shit.
It's in Boy Erased. That's the other one, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the scary movie ones like The Gift and all that, but I need to watch The King. The King is on my list. I watched The Green Knight. He's in that one, but I still need to watch The King, and what's this other one that I just saw that I didn't see him in? Oh no, it's just The King, because I saw he was in
Enjoy The Gift.
Gatsby,
It's
but-
not horror, psychological, sure. Jason Bateman's also fantastic, so another just great reason to include it. And then Rebecca Hall is also in The Gift, and she's great.
Yeah,
Joel Edgerton also.
this whole movie has it's a good lineup. You got Felicity Jones, who I really enjoyed in was it The Theory of Everything, William H. Macy, Carrie Condon, love Carrie Condon, Paul Schneider, and so you get this a big lineup. But so we're gonna spoil this whole movie, by the way, everyone. So just so for your heads up, but I felt like I didn't expect it to be such a there's almost like vignettes of stories, and so like you get William H. Macy for a series, you get Felicity Jones for a little bit, you get these different people with Joel Edgerton being the through line, because I didn't know anything about it, and then finding out it's based on a book, a novella. I didn't know that was Will Patton. Well, I knew it was Will Patton's voice. I didn't look up what he looked like, and I didn't realize he was the Remember the Titans guy and in Gone in 60 Seconds. But he also reads the audiobook, and it made me want to buy the audiobook just so I can hear it. Because I want to say it's only like 100 pages. But anyways, Eric, what were you expecting? Were you expecting such a? I mean, you already kind of gave your immediate reaction. You hate me, but were you expecting this movie? Like, what? First, did you know anything about it like before actually watching it? Like the content?
I know. I'm gonna be really honest. No, I hadn't even watched the trailer for it. I'd seen a few social media teasers months ago, a while ago, but I never watched a full trailer. And so I just hit play. And I don't normally do that. I am a big whore for Googling. I go to Letterboxd first, Rotten Tomatoes, maybe Reddit, anytime I watch a movie. And it really sometimes sucks. I did not do that with this one. I just hit play. So it was really awesome. In my Letterboxd review, joked, okay, yeah, spoilers, right? We already said that. Definitely spoilers. The scene where I didn't really feel any sort of joy at all in this movie until, gosh, is it Ignatius Jack, the Native American fellow who was his homie towards the end of the film? Is that his name?
I don't remember his name.
Okay. So wife and daughter die, burn, so devastating, stomach sunk. I said this in my Letterboxd. And I also joke like my stomach sunk and it never surfaced again. Like I didn't really feel great after that. Watching him suffer suffer through that, but then also like he couldn't keep up with the times and the younger men when they were logging. Anyways, there's this nice moment where those stray dogs,
Oh yeah.
kind of like make burrow in his, what is it, tent or on his clothes, and Ignatius Jack is trying to sort of help him through. Is that his name?
Yeah, it's Ignatius Jack. I just looked it up.
Okay. That moment gave me some sort of weird peace because we love our dogs. And I was that was maybe the only joy I felt in the entire film. So calling this a full movie is tough because I definitely cried. I was held in thought.
Yeah, I don't
know if I don't
know if there was any laughed. I'm trying to remember if there was like just little moments of like funniness. Like William H. Macy was a good time. Oh, no, I definitely laughed a little bit when shout out New Mexico gets a little for bad reasons, but when that man, that brother comes up there.
Yes.
And
yes.
When there's a character, okay, so Joel Egerton's a logger and he's out in the woods and he's away for a long series of times, and he meets on this one stint of logging, he meets a man who knows the Bible inside and out, and he just keeps talking about the Bible this, the Bible that, and stories and characters, and he's going on forever, and it's like this montage of him telling these stories, but it would cut to like different scenarios while they're logging in different areas. And finally there's one where he's like resting, there's like 5 of them resting, and this man comes up and he's like, hey, is there a man here named something and something? And then that Bible guy stands up and starts sprinting, gets shot in the back by this stranger, and he's like, he shot my brother down in Gallup, New Mexico.
Gallup,
which I thought was
it was
fun.
Gallup. Yep.
Yeah, and so, but you know that, so that made me laugh a little bit, but it was really hard because I didn't expect the amount of racism or racial tension and racial issues in this movie. Not just because that brother, the bounty hunter, I don't even know if he was a bounty hunter. I think he was just a person, but he was black, and he said his brother got shot on account of his skin, and there's that window or vignette of racism, but even the bringing in the rail yard industry, and they worked with a lot of Chinese folks. Dude, that was like in the first 15, 20 minutes where they just throw them off a bridge. And dude, it just made me so sad. Like, just incredibly, maybe it's because, again, like, you know, there's obviously the human aspect where I'm like, this is ridiculous, just hating someone based on their origins. And the music, and I didn't know what I was getting into, so I'm like watching this man, and I'm like, shit, like it's a part of history I don't know much about. That's probably another reason why it hit me so hard. I don't know much about what would you call that? What is it when the turn of the century, when they start doing trains and coal, and I don't know, but when they start just doing trains across the country or whatever. But yeah, I just thought it was a very interesting way of storytelling about one person, but really it was like bringing you into this world that
the narrator at one point when he's on the train, or no, right after that scene, homeboy RIP gets tossed off. The narrator, I'm going to butcher this, but he says something along the lines of like, they worked hard to put this up, and just a few decades later.
You disappeared on my end. I hope you're still alive on your end. That was wild, dude. You just zapped out of there. It says,
oops, the host closed the meeting. Try logging back in. And I was like, what?
No, it lied. It lied to you.
Did it capture that?
Assuming it caught you. I hope so.
Okay.
Gosh, this freaking platform.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you're watching his story, but that was wild thinking about every time I watch a period piece in any way, shape, or form, I think about how they're just built different back in the day of like the luxuries that we have today. Like, yes, there's plenty of issues rampant in America and the world these days, but like what people had to suffer through, even like you said, the racism, the sexism, and the different things that you think about when you watch any period piece before. And it's just, it's wild to take that into consideration when you're watching it. I definitely lost my train of thought when my computer kicked me out.
But
you definitely are right about the comedy in that scene. I actually love the way that was shot too, not to be a weirdo. I actually rewound that 2 or 3 times because I don't think the camera moved when he came up, and we never saw his face.
Oh, yeah.
And when there was like that beat when he's like, yeah, I'm looking for Josh Perez or whatever he's looking for, and there's a beat. And then he gets up and takes off, and I love at the end, he goes, anybody have any problems? Like, let's deal with it right now. I don't want to look over my shoulder for the rest of my life. Like, that scene also made me think, like, how do you track somebody down back in the day? Like, anyways, wild thoughts.
Yeah, I thought the writing and directing, it was so great because of those. It built a bigger world with such simplicity. Like that comment you said about the concrete bridge rendering the other one useless. In that one line, in that one moment, it basically told you all that, where it's like, oh yeah, these deaths were like, it just made it even like more intense. Like you lose life, but also it's like just arbitrary, nonsensical, pointless, like, and how much of this happened to people. And then also to your point about when the brother shoots that guy, I'm just like, wait, how many people got shot? Just like random,
street justice,
like
that.
Yeah, like some street justice in small areas when, there was no cameras, there's no phones, no credit cards, no tracking, no nothing. I was like, I bet you a lot of people got shot, and just, everyday people, I guess. And that's what I was trying to get at. Everyday people just blogging in the woods and street justice, and then they leave. And
they tossed off
like,
homeboy at the beginning for what clearly seemed like
on the clock.
And I love that our character was like, what'd he do? And then just goes in to help toss him off, gets kicked off, but like no one's really speaking. It's just like, we don't like him. Whatever.
No, I don't think Joel was going to help toss him off. I think Joel was
trying to... he was pulling him?
Yeah, I think, because I don't think he was... I think he was just confused But I wouldn't think that Joel was going to go toss him. He was hanging out with him.
I was curious. I actually was curious about that too, especially because he saw him through the rest of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
So that's a great point. But I thought my initial reaction was like, he's like, what do you do? What do you do? And then he goes over. I thought he was going to help till he gets kicked off. But yeah, we do see him through the rest of the film. Well,
right. He always has that
in Joel's dreams.
flashback and those silhouettes. And because he mentions, right, where he's like, these become your family. Like at the very beginning, he's talking about the loggers and the characters that he's interacting with and how they become intimate and part of your family because they're your everyday work alongside for 3-4 months or whatever. And so I think it was a way of, again, just building these. That's why I think it was so great, well written. And maybe obviously because they have a blueprint from the novella, but I know adapting is its own skill and in and of itself of making a well-made adaptation. But yeah, just the way that they would move back and forth, like you mentioned, the camera work. I thought, dude, and speaking of that, we should definitely talk about how insanely gorgeous this movie was, despite the heavy content. What were some of like your favorite, like you had mentioned the camera staying still. What are some other moments of whether it's the camera work or visually that stood out or wowed you?
I know this is going to sound really maybe cliche based on like the subject matter, but any shot with the trains, I enjoyed him do this cough is great on the train, and the scene where he does pull up and we jump to the conclusion that his wife and daughter are toast. Like the way they shot that, I felt this sense of chaos because, like you said, it was a really simple time. The setting was so simple but so gorgeous, but that shot of the smoke and you felt the devastation immediately on those people who, I don't know, he runs into somebody, Mary, I think. His name top of my head. He goes, Mary, have you seen, is it Gladys? Was that his wife's name?
Yeah, I should know all this.
I know, me too. I do not know that.
Yeah, it's Gladys.
Have you seen Gladys? And then I started to have this anxiety because immediately I knew, I'm like, all right, she's probably toast. That whole shot with the smoke, although devastating, I also went back because I think I told everybody, and I told Josh this, I paused it when he fell asleep on the train. So when I finished it, when I got home, I didn't finish it that night. I hit play, and all of a sudden I'm waking. He's waking up. So the first thing I see, so I actually started a bit back. I went back to watch that whole scene through, but that was gorgeous. The whole movie was, but you're right. It was so simple. It was really so simple. You know what too? There was the shot of towards the end of the movie when we see that time is passing him by. There's the scene where he can't pull the chainsaw, start it, and you hear chirping in the background after he falls, calling him an old man. And if I'm remembering it correctly, there's a scene where he goes and stands by a tree as it's falling, and
oh yeah,
that was pretty gnarly. Those were gorgeous scenes too. Most of them were, but that I was feeling really broken for him in that moment,
right?
Because the whole movie ends with him just no family around him, but he seemed to be at peace. But those still moments where he realized time is passing him by, that was gorgeous.
Yeah, the plane where he's flying the plane at the end. That was the one part where, for me, where a little bit of joy crept in, where I was like, oh, I don't know why either.
He almost seems at peace.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think, side note, I read somewhere that most of those trees that were chopped down were composite, or they were made out of, they were fake trees being cut down. So they were saying that there not many trees were, you're watching a movie about logging. You're like, oh yeah, they're chopping all these trees down. But apparently they built a lot of those trees, which I thought was pretty impressive. But the way that they would position the camera on the tree, but it didn't seem as rattled or handheld as I would imagine. And so there were really cool shots, and I loved any of the sky shots, obviously, and skylines. There were some beautiful colors. I love the aspect ratio. I know that's it feels very basic or film bro to be like, oh, it's on a 4:3 or smaller, but dude, they look so good when they're boxed in like that. But it's so sad. But yeah, dude, the fire scenes were just so well shot. Like the reds,
is that
and the
weird?
oranges.
That's weird to say.
And I think that's what I love about the movie so much is that you don't expect something so dark and heavy to have such beauty. But I really do think that that's such a intentional, to have these conflicting affections towards this movie, or conflicting feelings as we're watching this, because even with the music and the score, I'm like, this is so beautiful, and yet I feel shitty to be enjoying this because this dude is wondering if his family's coming back or not, or if they died. That's the other wild thing about that world, dude. That's all I was thinking about was like, what do? I mean, you hang out there until see if they come back, but I'm like, you don't have cell phones or phones, like you don't have tracking devices. Oh, that's torturous, dude.
They think he's dead. They
yes.
leave. He thinks they're coming back. I think it was the narrators speaking. He said something along the lines of like how Joel's character, something about he couldn't gather himself to build her bedroom. Like something along those lines. And there was a shot of him, I think, laying in bed at that moment, or maybe in the front. This is, again, the narration. I maybe split down the middle on that in most movies, but that was heavy.
Yeah.
Hearing that of like,
dude, speaking of building her bedroom, I was like, dude, these motherfuckers back then were legitimately like, oh yeah, this spot here, let me build a home. Dude,
just build.
I am useless. I am a waste of flesh and bone, dude. I'm like, what do you mean?
Going back before cell phones were invented would cripple me.
Dude,
I just have to know.
His log cabin was so dope. I'm like, you just freaking, and then when it burnt down, he's like, I'm building another one. Like that world is just completely different, dude. And so yeah, I just thought it was, I don't know, super well done. But okay, so as we're starting to kind of close up here, or because I know you got to run and we're getting towards the end, dude, this is where we can brag, we can boast about Joel Edgerton. But how was the performances, the characters, the scenes that they were in? What are your thoughts? What were some of the standouts?
I love. Okay, so Arn, William H. Macy's character passes.
Yes.
Crushing and brutal.
Yep.
We know Joel loved him. But then I think his name was Mr. Sears, another friend of his.
Okay.
So there's this moment where like wife and daughter die. We keep talking about time is passing by. The young bucks are kind of taking over. That night, after he can't start the chainsaw, he falls and is like coming to this realization of like, damn, I'm old. But that's what was great. It's not just I'm old. It's like time is gone. Time is passing me. Not just my time, not just my family that I no longer have. The world is passing me by. I'm pretty sure Mr. Sears, the older gentleman, he's like, is that you? And they connect over the fire.
Yeah.
And he didn't know that Arn was dead.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like those moments, anytime there was a character, Ignatius Jack, Arn talking about William H. Macy's character, he said some line about like some of these trees we're chopping down are hundreds of years old. Like there's beauty in that or something. All of them had really special moments because our main character didn't speak a ton.
Right.
And so I think all of them added such great performances. And even homegirl at the end, Claire.
Oh yeah, the one that gets the job with the Forest Service.
Yeah. She was bugging me at first. I was in a bad mood. I wouldn't say she was jovial, but she was bugging me. I'm like, let me mourn. Let me be sad. I'm sorry. I know it was supposed to be a different take. How did you feel about all the performances, but also that, like when she came on board?
When she came on board, I thought it was going to be that classic, like, I'm going to get over my grief by entering a new relationship, but there's still this sliver of, but they don't actually get together, right? And so I thought that was really well done too, because it wasn't following the expected path that I thought, right? Like I expected there to be closure with the family and the kids, never got it. I don't know what happened. Did they leave? Did they die? Did whatever it may be. What was her name again? Sorry, you said her name. Claire's character, I expected something to come out, but it didn't it was literally just this story of this man moving through life that's very reserved. It felt like he was very quiet. Like you said, he didn't speak a lot. But then, dude, he was like in love with Gladys. Like him and Gladys were just like, you can just tell that they were, as much as I can believe that people are meant to be with people, or it makes sense, right? But Joel's I think he was such a great cast. Like he was able to physically embody all those emotions without the speaking, without dialogue, right? And I think the narration helped in the sense that it was very tight narration, but I paired that with Joel being able to communicate without speaking what the narrator was saying. Like it rendered that bridge useless. We're looking at Joel staring out the window, looking at that bridge, and we can feel what we're thinking. Like, oh my gosh, that guy died, and it was for nothing. And even though it was already for nothing, it's even more. But they don't need to say that. And I think that was really, really great. And William H. Macy was always cracking me up too, though, because one, I loved his character. I thought he was great, and most of his friends yapped a lot. Like they did a lot of the talking, right? And he did a lot of listening, active listening, if you will. But William H. Macy, when he was always offering to help. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just here. Let me, if you need some help, I can do it." And he literally never moved. Like he's just saying he's there to help, but he doesn't do anything. But I did appreciate that character, and when they nailed his boots to the tree, and then you see it later. I don't know why. That was just so it was stunning, and it struck me for some reason, and I had to sit with it because I'm like, what's with this? Even my Letterboxd poster is like a artified version of the boots with the flowers coming out of it, but it's like very vibrant orange and yellows. And I picked that one because I was like, man, I don't know why that scene stuck out, even though it was just a time maybe it's the time passing by because we got to actually see that with the flowers and vegetation growing over it. But yeah, dude, I thought the performances were just so great, and how reserved they were, and like even I was texting my friend, told the Skorkas, shout out Austin Coffin, was like, hey, Josh would really like this movie, you should watch it. I said I've been meaning to, and then I literally watched it that night. He used the word like restrained. The whole movie was restrained, and I think that's just a good way of putting it. Like you said, the camera staying still, and that temptation to like shoot it in a different way when that man shoots the other man, but yet they're like, no, we're going to keep it on this tripod, or we're going to keep you silent. It just felt very restrained in a great way, where it was, I don't know, everything was just so powerful from doing less.
That's such a good point. You get a totally different movie if you do different points of view when that man gets shot. Anything, the music, the score, the angles, it would feel different. But it's almost like, here's this small moment in time. Now envision how many millions of moments and men or women died like this in this time period that are almost forgotten.
Yeah.
That it's just like, what's the saying? It's like, I don't even know what the saying is. Something about, can you hear tree falls in the forest?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like this really, it could have been filmed in this way that made it seem like this,
right,
this foot pursuit and to kill this revenge. And it's like, nope, I killed him. Here's a matter of fact why. You want to fight me? I'm leaving. We're done. And like, that's how life was back then. And the boots scene, as you're talking now, made me think of like how people were memorialized back then, or maybe lived forgotten lives outside of their logging crew. Like,
right,
would we know this man? Would we hear about them? And we live in a day and age where everything is memorialized on social media, and the photos we capture and the videos, and we know everything about everybody, and we can document everything. And back then, if you lived a really simple life and were a logger, if your boots got nailed to the tree gets chopped down, like that's the end of your story or your journey. Maybe not, but I don't know. It's like, depends on how you look at it.
Right.
A little sad to think about, though. Like that guy who was gunned down,
right,
or William H. Macy's character, he's buried by his buds that became family, and that's that.
That's
like
that.
End of his story in the woods.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It is almost worse. I mean, it is worse half the time because you don't see it. Like the man shoots the man, walks up to him, and he's over that little like hill, and then shoots him again, and you don't see it, which intensifies more like that, like curiosity of, I don't want to see it, but if I saw it, at least my imagination, like it was like, did they leave him there? Did they bury him? Did he have family? Like, I know he did a horrible thing of killing another man, but that dead man, it's like, yeah, like what's his life now? Like he just disappeared, and then not seeing the girls and only staying on Joel's perspective and his POV, right? It intensifies everything so much.
Did they burn in the house, and that's the end of their story? Are they ash under his new home, and that's it? That's
or did
the
they
end of it? And
breathing smoke from the fire and pass out and suffocate, like, and their bodies just decomposed out in the forest? Like, there's just so many different sad thoughts that came into my mind. Yeah.
And any other movie would. That's almost why we ask those questions. Like, well, what does it look like on the other side of the hill, right? Oh, how did he shoot him? And was it because any other movie would give us that satisfaction might be the wrong word.
Right.
But
anyways,
it's wild.
Rewatchability factor. Like, do you think it's rewatchable for you, and do you recommend it?
Highly recommend it. Rewatchable in the way that Manchester by the Sea is rewatchable.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It actually might be more rewatchable, to be honest with you. It's like I kind of want to. Maybe I'll bully Kelly into watching it at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say it's definitely more rewatchable than Manchester, just because it looks cool, and it was like it was like reading a book. Like, it was that really gratifying when you read a good story, but with paintings. Like, it was just really great. And if I could, like, from this 2025, if I picked out a few movies that like every American should watch in like public education, I would put Train Dreams on there. Like, I think this is a movie that taught me so much, and you would see so much from a like an everyday life perspective of and it just like even you and I just talking about, we're coming up with new thoughts and new, oh yeah, what about that? And I think this just gives people a lot of launching pads to have really cool discussions about this world we live in here in the United States. So anyways.
Speaking of restraint, one last thought. I was just looking. There are 13 cast members who are credited on Google. Just a quick look. One of them being Logger, another being Fu Shang, who is the gentleman killed at the beginning, and another one being the narrator. Like, there's 10 folks on this movie.
That's
as far as, that are billed
right
and named aside from the extras. So that's
kind of a trip.
We're used to like this ensemble cast. There's 13 main characters in Knives Out.
Right.
main leading roles. And
they're all leading capable actors in any other movie, right? So
it's like just a movie that is just done so well. It's so different than anything else I think that's come out recently. And again, adds to the complexity of the whole Netflix buying Warner Brothers fiasco. They can put out good shit, but it should have been on a big screen.
Yeah, for sure.
It was shot for that. So
alrighty. Well, Eric, do you want to sign us off with a cough? Just kidding.
See, that's crazy. Yes, signing off. Subscribe to the newsletter, Swing Condensed. Shout out everybody who tunes in. I think we're at 51 out of 52 weeks in this last year of a newsletter. Consistency is crazy from specifically one of the producers. I won't name him to give him too much credit.
Yeah,
but there's always somebody. He's already got a big one. There's always someone in the theater watching what's new, giving you guys insights, save your money, or watch it in theaters. And we'll get more podcasts out soon.
Yeah,
for sure. Thanks for listening.
Later.